Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.
What's going on, everybody? Hambone to the movies. Just sitting here talking about a couple of pieces of news. One of them is obviously you can see behind me one of my favorite franchises of all time, and that is the story going on right now in Star Wars, where we had someone come out and say that Kathleen Kennedy was shutting it down. She was going to quit by the end of the year and everything else, but it's like pump the brakes time because we have a CNN business report here. Star Wars chief is staying on at Disney despite a report that she's leaving, at least for now. Rumors that Lucasfilm's longtime president may be leaving Disney have swirled for quite some time, but reports that Kathleen Kennedy will retire at the end of her contract may be jumping the gun. Puck reported Tuesday that Kennedy, who is 71, is expected to step down as president of the storied production company behind the Star Wars franchise before the end of 2025. Several news publishers have followed with their own reports, but a source familiar with the matter tells CNN that that's not the case, emphasizing that there's nothing there right now. Any announcement of Kennedy's retirement, if indeed there's anything to announce, will be made public when actual decisions are made, the source told CNN. So this is one of those things to where I would probably, just agree with that. That's why I don't jump the gun with some of these things, especially if it's not like a source that I'm like fully invested or trusted in. I'm not going to jump on and say, oh, here we go. You can look back at this channel. You can go back, look at videos and everything else that I made talking about Star Wars and everything else. I have never been a person that attacked Kathleen Kennedy. I've never been a person that dragged her name through the mud for any reason at all. I recognize that she's one of the greatest producers of all time and everything else. But I will say this. I haven't understood the last few years why she still even has that job. And the reason being is not some hate, not somebody trying to, grift on the fact that Kathleen Kennedy is ruining Star Wars. It's literally because if you look at all the metrics, the popularity of Star Wars, the shows and how many people's watching comparatively to like other things that are out there on streaming, the movies and the money and the critics and fans just not being happy with some of the storytelling going on and the decisions that are made. When you look at it on all metrics, Star Wars is trending downward and has been trending downward for a little while. Any other person ahead of any other company, business, whatever it is, would not be having their job right now. They would have been fired. Okay? So that's the part of this that I don't understand. Even me, even someone who hasn't been going out and attacking her, whether it be on any of the social media or like videos here on the channel, is admitting that, like, look, it hasn't been going good, and it hasn't been going good for a little while now, and something's got to change. And usually that thing that has to change, especially when all things are going bad, like if you have one movie or one show or whatnot that just doesn't, hit and doesn't do as good as you thought, there could be multiple reasons, right? There could be a director of that certain movie or the writer of that movie just didn't do a good job or show. And you could like push the narrative that like Kathleen Kennedy, it's not her fault and everything else. But she's in charge of hiring all these people, and it's been multiple things that have not done very well for Disney. Like I said, in the last couple of years. In any other circumstance, that person would be fired, and that would just be the end of it. And people would understand in most cases because, like, hey, proof's in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? You're not putting out banger after banger. You're actually putting out flop after flop, it seems like, in the most recent memory. So, and things has to, like, change. Get some fresh eyes on this and everything else. Take a step back. Like, it would be graceful if she would just come out and say that she's leaving, and not have to be put in a position of them finally making a change where either they don't renew her contract or they fire her before the contract even ends. You paid a bunch of money for the Star Wars franchise, Disney did. It's time to be making dividends on that. It's pretty sad that we haven't had a film from Star Wars in years. It's not just 1 or 2 or 3 years. It's been years now, not having a movie actually out from the franchise. Now we do have one, Mandalorian and Grogu, that's getting worked on right now that is going to come out eventually. We'll see how good that is. I'm not super hyped. I'm a big, huge Star Wars fan, but I'm not super hyped for what's going to come down the pipeline right now because of the simple fact of, man, I would have been hyped if this movie was announced after season 2. I thought season 1, season 2 of The Mandalorian was knocking it out of the park. It was thoroughly enjoying it, having a great time. And then season 3 came out. Now, I don't know. That they could possibly make a really great movie, really fun movie, and all that. I'm not one of these Star Wars fans that thinks like every Star Wars movie has to be like the greatest thing they've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Like I would just be good with a good movie, with a good solid film, with a decent, decently written story. I would be happy with that. And but I just don't have the faith because of what happened with season 3 of The Mandalorian. It was all over the place. It really didn't feel like it had anything going for it. Did not like it at all. There, obviously there's going to be a couple of things in almost anything that you see that you can be positive on or kind of like, but no, that show, that season did not do it for me. And I don't think it did it for a lot of other people either. So I don't know. There's only so many times you can go to the bucket of, oh, we got this cute little creature and this Mandalorian saving them and traveling together. So hopefully they get super creative. Hopefully this thing can tie into some stuff. Hopefully this thing can pick Star Wars back up. I am excited about Andor season 2. Although that trailer, oh my God, may have a reaction to that trailer here on the channel, but we'll see. But this is how it goes. Hopefully Star Wars can get back on track. And sad to say it, but Kathleen Kennedy does need to go. And that's coming from someone who hasn't hated on her and attacked her over the past few years. Matter of fact, I found myself defending some things at certain points. And but now it's just time to go. Time to make the change. It's just like rooting for your favorite sports team and the coach. Maybe he had a couple of good years in him and he had a couple of good things that came out. But then, man, just not getting those dubs. Not getting those dubs. Star Wars seems to be getting a lot of L's. And I don't get it. I don't understand why the company just won't make the change. Just don't understand that part. I know people out there can speculate all day long. And then people even making the jokes about what does she have on those guys, like to not pull the trigger. But yeah, they've got to do it or she does need to step down, one of the two. And that's just how it is. This is the most negative thing that you've ever seen on this channel from me when it involves someone in charge of something like Star Wars or even like directors. But I mean, come on, man, any other job, that person would have been long gone. Go get you a job in sales or something like that out in the real world. And you keep racking up the L's. You ain't lasting very long. You ain't. And Kathleen Kennedy, like when you put like even all of Lucasfilm, not just Star Wars, but you look at it as a whole, it's been racking up some L's. Star Wars needs some W's. A few years back, I would have said it doesn't matter. Star Wars will still get the W's no matter what because it's Star Wars and it's so big. But these days, I can't say that anymore, unfortunately. With that being said, guys, thank you. Please like, subscribe, leave your comments down below. Am I wrong? Do you agree with me? Whatever it is, put it down there. It does not matter. Join the Ko-Fi if you want to help out a smaller channel. We just passed 1,000 subscribers. Thanks for everybody out there that has subscribed. Just want you guys to know that we really, really, really do appreciate it. And the Discord's open. Should be in the description below. Until next time, may the Force be with us all.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.